Hello, today I'm making this video to start a conversation. It's actually a continuation of a conversation I had with some friends this weekend. My friends are not anti-gun particularly, but they don't own guns, and they were coming from more of a position of interest more than or curiosity than they were of being anti-gun. The topic was, is carrying a gun itself an act of paranoia, or being prepared for bad situations? Are those acts of paranoia, or are they just acts of being prepared? I carry a gun every day. I know a lot of people out there carry a gun every day. A couple of my friends know I carry every day, so this is what brought the conversation up. A lot of people could argue that carrying a gun is paranoid. I mean, how likely are we to need it? I mean, we're just not. I mean, it's just not very likely you're going to need to use it for anything. So chances are we're carrying it for nothing. Like I say, I do carry every day. I carry my little Colt 6-shot revolver, 38 special, nothing, not high caliber, not high capacity. Does that make me less paranoid than someone who carries a gun with higher capacity, higher caliber? I don't think it does if you do it for the right reasons. If you're a person who's fearful, if I carried that gun every day because I was afraid I was going to need it when I went out, then yes, I would say I'm paranoid. But I leave the house thinking, I'm never going to need this. I'm just one of these people that I think everything's going to be fine. I'm not a fearful person. I'm just not a paranoid or fearful person. Now, there are times when I feel I might need it. You know, like if I'm in a bad situation, a parking garage late at night, a bad part of town late at night, I have to walk back to my car. Well, then, then of course you adjust yourself to the situation, and that situation requires a little bit more of alertness, a little bit more of awareness that bad things might happen. But as far as just my everyday life, no, I just don't think bad things are going to happen to me. Maybe I'm naive, but that's just how I am. So I say, no, I'm not paranoid because I carry my gun. I mean, I carry a revolver, so what? I don't think I'm going to have to use it. Now, when you go a little further, like I said, when people who carry higher capacity guns or higher caliber guns, I carry reloads for my gun. Okay. One of my friends argued, well, that makes you a little more paranoid because now you're thinking about reloading. You're thinking about fighting multiple targets. Believe me, I'm not someone who deludes myself into thinking I'm going to prevail against multiple armed targets. I carry this just because I like to be prepared. And it's fun to be prepared. I enjoy being prepared. So they're like, well, that makes you a little more paranoid because you're preparing a little further there. So maybe are you going a little further towards the line of paranoia? And then take another step, most of us carry our knives. That's another tool or weapon some people might see as. And then in my case, in my car I have a gun safe. And in that gun safe I keep, my Glock 33 as a backup gun. Now I don't carry this thinking, oh, I might run out of bullets and my other gun may have to resort to this. I carry this in my car because I have left the house in the mornings without my gun. Get in a hurry, get behind, have to rush out the door, get in the car and be like, crap, where's my gun? In that case, I have the Glock in the car and I have a holster for it in the car. So I can slip it in, slip it in the holster, slip it on, and I'm ready to go for the day. I don't have to go back home. Does that make me paranoid? Once again, I don't think so. Some people labor under this delusion that there's a line, that you can only do so much, and then once you get to that line, if you go any further, you're crossing into paranoid territory. And I don't agree with that. My belief is that it's all about mindset. Are you doing it because of fear? Is fear what's motivating you to do this? Is fear what's motivating you to stock cans on your shelf or to keep water bottles in your garage? Are you doing that because you're fearful, or are you doing that because you just enjoy being prepared? I enjoy being prepared. I think there's a basic need in a lot of people to just be prepared in case something bad happens. We buy life insurance, same reason. We buy health insurance, same reason. And that is common, I think more so it's stronger in people who like to be self-reliant, to people who like to count on themselves, who like to be able to say, I can handle situations on my own, I don't need help. And that's why I think you see so many people that are into guns are also into prepping, they're also into, just gardening, farming, things like that, they like to know how to build, they like to know how to do things on their own. And there's nothing wrong with that. I don't see that as a sign of paranoia until you get to the stage where fear is your motivation for it. I know a lot of people out there are fearful. There's a lot of people out there that, they do think the world's coming to an end. They think Obama's the Antichrist. They think the world's going to end soon. There's even people who think it's going to end in 2012. Those are such a minority, I think. Just like the minority of people who carry guns are actually bloodthirsty people who think they're going to have to use them. most of us don't think we're going to have to use them. Most of us don't carry them because we want to hurt somebody or we think we're going to hurt somebody. Now there are some people out there, and that was one of the things we discussed, was that sense of bloodlust you see from some gun owners, that I hope someone attacks me so I can show them who's boss, that I hope someone breaks into my house, I've got a shotgun waiting for them. Why would you ever want negative things? You know, some people do, but like I say, they're a small minority. The minorities in everything get so much attention. It's like the minority of people who carry guns and the minority of prep, they get so much attention. Just like on the right wing, the nut jobs get attention. The people shooting abortion doctors and having racist signs at Tea Party rallies. You know, those people get all the attention. On the left, the people burning, you know, down buildings and SUVs and having anarchist meetings. You know, those people get all the attention. And you miss out the 99% of the people that are somewhere between those two extremes. And I think that's the same way with gun carrying and with prepping. So much attention gets paid to the nut jobs that people forget that 99% of us aren't like that. So that's why I'd like to see this conversation go. I'd like to hear from people who agree with me or disagree with me. Do you think there's a line where you can go this far and then once you go beyond it you're getting into paranoia? Or do you think it's all about mindset? This conversation is not going to be so much for us that carry or those people that prep. It's going to be for people who don't do that. So they can see, hey, these are normal, everyday people who have good reasons to do what they do. They're not doing it because they're afraid. They're doing it because they just enjoy doing it. It's kind of a hobby. I mean, I consider it a hobby. I enjoy guns outside of their self-defense capabilities. I enjoy shooting them. I enjoy cleaning them. I enjoy restoring them. I enjoy the mechanics of them. And the self-reliant aspect of them is just a bonus. And I think that I'm pretty much normal, average for a gun owner, for people who do these kinds of things. Don't think I'm some crazy nut job. I mean, people will disagree with you. There are some aspects of things I'm crazy about. If you looked at my animation collection, you'd probably think I'm a bit crazy. Some of my I had to move my location of my shoot because some of the people were getting creeped out by my Wonder Woman collectibles and my Disney collectibles in one of the cabinets. So I moved the location to a little neutral situation here. So, you know, there are some things I'm crazy about, but this is not one of them. So like I say, I'd like to hear from people out there who agree with me, who are maybe in the same mindset I am, who prepare because they enjoy it and they like the sense of being prepared. They don't do it because they're fearful. They're not crazy. They're not loners. Just like to hear from you, like to hear your comments. And if you have any videos that are similar, or if you have any video responses you want to make to this, I'd love to see those too. So let's just make a visible front of the average person who carries a gun or the average person who preps. Let's just not let the extremes have all the limelight all the time. So like I said, I'd like to hear from all of you. Thanks for indulging me here. Once again, this has been the Yankee Marshal. Thanks for watching. I hope to speak to you again soon.